This week on Stargazing, we're looking at Katy Perry and Russell Brand, who have recently split. They're an interesting couple because she's a Scorpio and with a lot of planets in Scorpio, and he's a Gemini Aries. But the interesting thing about him, Gav, is that he was born on exactly the same day as Angelina Jolie, who we did last week.
Oh, wow.
The 4th of June, 1975. He's like an astro twin of hers.
He doesn't look quite like her, though, I have to say. But okay.
It doesn't look like her, but it's really interesting. This is how you can be born on the same day and all those planets are put into different houses. So with Angelina, she's got this big stellium in her career chart, and it's also in the humanitarian sector that does all her overseas travel and all of that. So that's where the focus is for her. With Russell, it's all in his 8th house, which is, of course, the house of sex, amongst other things. And he's a self-proclaimed sex addict, and it sort of shows up in the chart that this is where all the activity's going on.
There you go. That's where all the power is. The planets are hanging out in that house. So.
It's a really interesting one because generally Scorpio and Gemini aren't a good match.
Well, except for us. I mean, because we're Scorpio and Gemini,
exactly.
And we get on all right. So.
Well, but we're not in a relationship, so we're just
true.
friends, which is okay. But it's kind of they're not signs that are connected in any way, and it's the fascination almost, because Gemini likes to be entertained and have things that are different, and Scorpio is just so interesting in that it's this mysterious dark waters, and Gemini's trying to work out what it is, and obviously they've come apart because there wasn't that thing there to gel them in terms of them being enough similarities, I guess.
Yeah, sort of the same sort of personalities. I mean, you're right, Gemini is much more sort of wanting to be and out.
Yeah, it's a light,
Scorpios.
bright sort of kind of getting out amongst it, circulating parties, having fun.
Not that Scorpios are boring, mind you, but I think you're right, that they tend to be more private, but probably more fun, but in a more dark way, you know what I mean? So
exactly. There's a lot of
yeah.
stuff going on underneath, and I looked at Katy Perry's chart and I just thought, I have not seen such a difficult chart in such a long time.
Really?
This girl has got Sun, Pluto, Mercury, Saturn, Moon, Saturn, all in Scorpio. And it's like she's just had a difficult time from the moment she was born. And she's had Pluto going over every single one of those planets from the time she was born until about now.
So where's the star bit come? Because I mean, you know what it's like. Difficult children. I mean, look at Michael Jackson and all those people. They
exactly.
all, they shine because they've had this really horrific, I suppose, childhood. But they become stars. Where does that come from?
Well, because Scorpio, as you know, is so resilient. It's like Teflon coated. So it's like they just keep picking themselves up and keep going.
Yeah.
And then they turn it into, because it's such a creative sign as well, she's turned it into a way of communicating with her generation. And I've got the lyrics to her song Fireworks, which...
It's actually very mystically... There's a nice big energy rise in the middle of the track, so
it's
sort of makes you feel really empowered.
Really connecting into all of that collective out there, and that's why she is the artist of her generation, I think, more so than what people think of her at the moment. It's a bit like Madonna. When she was young, people just sort of thought, oh, this isn't going to last long. Yeah. But I think this girl, because she's got that Scorpio and Pluto on the ascendant, she's just going to keep reinventing herself. Change is what it's all about, and she will just keep shifting and changing. Yeah. I see a really...
But like Madonna, I mean, Madonna used sex to a large extent in her early career to sort of create a feel. And when I heard that song, I thought, oh, that's such a nice song. It's so, it really touches my heart. And I saw the film clip, and it's her standing on the balcony with all these fireworks coming out of her breasts. And I thought, not quite. No, exactly. So, she's picking both sides of the market, I guess. The people that are listening that want that emotive feel, and people that want to, she's a great-looking woman. So
yeah. So will we pull some cards?
Yeah, please. So we're talking about Russell Brand and her, and in terms of her relationship, is that what you want to look at? Or
I don't know that there's much of a chance of them reconciling. But I think they'll always be good friends. They've got the good friendship links in there, but I just think the relationship was just probably a little bit too much. So let's just see what the cards say for them anyway.
Yeah, okay. So we start with Russell and see what it's like, because I mean, it's interesting that he's so dark in some ways. Like the comedy is there, but it's sort of trapped in a darkness for me. I always thought that.
Yeah, which is the same with Angelina Jolie.
Yeah,
there's a darkness about them, and it's Pluto opposing all their planets. Yeah.
Which is interesting because this is Bast, which represents play. So
Play.
I think that
He likes to play. He's a player,
Yeah, definitely
I
a
think.
player. But that's not a very dark card. That sort of is very much a light being. So maybe he's turning a corner and he wants more light in his life.
Exactly.
I mean, he's a funny guy too. So that doesn't
He is
surprise
funny
me.
and he likes a party. Yes.
Yeah. So let's do one for her too.
Yeah. Okay.
Centering. So I suspect that she is going through, by losing him and all the chaos that goes with him, she will actually find a much more centred person.
Yeah.
And she'll probably mature as part of that. So this is actually a good card for her too.
It's great. Thanks for that, Gav.
No worries.